when you're running with the pack.
G'day guys, it's Wolffy here, and I'm back with another money making method for you guys. This one is a build for the engine swap series that we're doing. So yeah, we're using the Ford Focus and as the GT7 engine swap in it. And this thing's great around just about any track. I did it quite a while ago, but I thought I'd revisit it and share it with you guys. And I thought I'd use the 600 pp tune. So it hasn't changed too much since the last update, so let's get stuck in. Now you can get the Ford Focus 18 from the Ford dealership, and as you can see, it's not the most expensive car in the world. It's an awesome car. It actually handles the engine swap quite well, but that's going to be the cheapest part. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take that and head into GT Auto and do the wide body and engine swap conversions. So as you can see there, 710,000 is going to get you this engine, and I mean for the money and 60 odd performance points, you're getting a horsepower increase of like 74, 73, 74%, supercharged, 5.5 litre. And that applied with the four-wheel drive, it's only 60 something kilograms heavier. Yeah, it's an awesome conversion. So as you can see, we've got like 600 brake horsepower with the tune. It's pretty well balanced, 60-40 weight split. So we're using sports hard tires front and rear. We've got fully customizable suspension set at 90 at the front and 90 at the rear. Anti-roll bar is set to 7 at the front and 8 at the rear. Dampening ratio compression is 36 at the front, 37 at the rear. Expansion is 46 at the front and 47 at the rear. Natural frequency is 2.10 at the front, 2.40 at the rear. Negative camber, 2.8 at the front and 2.6 at the rear. Not using any toe angle on the front here, but we're using 0.15 inward at the rear. So we have the fully customizable differential, and initial torque is set to 5 at the front and 10 at the rear. Acceleration sensitivity is 15 at the front and 30 at the rear. Now you might want to change that just depending on how you drive. As you'll see in the video, it could be an idea. So we've got 10 at the front for braking sensitivity and 25 at the rear. Torque vectoring center differential. This is really handy, especially at Tokyo. And we've set it to 40-60 to start with, but you can adjust that on the fly, and I think it's definitely a good idea, especially at the start of the race when it's still wet. So downforce, we've got 19 at the front and 132 at the back. Now you can adjust that to suit. I found that too much was just sort of hampering obviously my top speed, but my ability to turn in on some corners. You can't quite swing the rear of the car around quite as well, and that's something I like to do with this build. So we've got the fully customizable ECU, outputs at 100. We've got 193 kilos of ballast, but we've offset that with a bit of weight reduction. The ballast is positioned slightly forward, so minus 18. That seemed to be the sweet spot. I found 60-40 weight split was pretty good with this build. Power restrictor is at 100%. We've got the fully customizable racing transmission. Now it says here it's set to 340, and I can't exactly remember, it's a while ago, if I adjusted these gears, so I may well have done. If that's the case and it looks different to what you've got, then adjust the final first, adjust your final gear, and then just move down through them from 6th down to 1st, or you might just want to try setting it, but if you do, you're definitely going to be above 320, 330 Ks, I'd say. And yeah, so it's just normal supercharger in it, not using an aftermarket. We've got the carbon ceramic brakes, racing brake pads. I always grab the handbrake. It just makes it handy for getting you out of sticky situations. And you've got the brake controller. I've set the bias just slightly back on this one so that I can swing the rear end round and get a bit more slip angle. Clutch and flywheel is racing, and we're using the carbon propeller shaft. Now, as I was saying, we've got stage 1 weight reduction, so that's to help offset the weight that we've applied, and of course the increased body rigidity. So we're going to be taking this one to Tokyo for the WTC 600 event. And as you can see, this it's pretty quick off the mark, but the good thing about it is it's very even, the power application right through the rev range. So there's not a whole lot of needing to adjust where you use your revs. You can kind of just use them all the way up and down the rev range. No need for short shifting or anything unless it's for fuel saving. As you can see there, I am wall riding the first corner, because if you do that you can get out ahead of everyone, and it's just going to make this whole race a lot quicker. So I'm using fuel map 1 up the straight, and then once I'm out ahead I'm into fuel map 3, because I'm not sure if the last update changes have really affected how this thing is going to suck the juice. So I'm back onto fuel map 1 as I head up the straight, and we're looking at a 2:20 on the first lap. That's reasonably good. So I'm just going to keep doing that for a while. I did try here just dropping the fuel down to fuel map 6 for a little while to try and build up a bit of excess fuel, so that I could use it towards the end of the race. But I discovered I was quite easily going to be able to do 12 laps with this. So I think just fuel map 1 up the straight, and then fuel map 3 or even 2 around the back end of the course is pretty good. If you didn't want to do that, I'd say fuel map 2 might get you around the entire race, but you might have to just keep an eye on it. So I'd just keep plugging away here, switching straight into fuel map 1 as I'm going up the straight, and then at the end of the straight, or just after the first couple of corners, I'm going into fuel map 3, and that seems to be working pretty well. So we're down to 2 minutes and 8 seconds at this stage. And I know that once it gets drier I'm going to be able to get a bit of extra time out of that, so I just keep doing more of the same. And as you can see there, we're coming down, so 2 minutes and 7. And also this is where I adjusted, as you can see, my my bias for my torque, because I wanted to put a little bit more on the rear. I know that the front tires are just going to wear, so I've used a little bit more on the rear, and it's pretty good. But you do want to be careful coming out of corners, because if you give it a little bit too much and you don't correct in time, you're going to do that. So just keep an eye on it. I'm sure some of you guys out there, especially with the way this thing handles, I think you're going to be able to get some amazing times, heaps faster than me. I dare say some of you will be creeping towards close to the 2 minute mark. And at this stage I'm coming across back markers, so I did this one on difficulty medium, I think. And it's pretty easy to get around them, to be honest, in this car. The four-wheel drive's great, the power application's awesome, there's not a whole lot of understeer. It's really good as far as powering out of corners and stuff. As I was saying, the slip angle is great, and if you really learn where it is, you can push it right to the edge, right to the limit. So I was pretty happy with that, and it seems like the car hasn't changed too much since the last update. So we came through for a 25-minute and 50-second win. This thing, I'm sure it can do close to 25.5 minutes. But the good thing about it is it's just really easy to drive, to be honest, and it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this one. So yeah, it's good that now that we've got engine swaps viable in this game, that other people can enjoy it as well. Because this one's definitely up there in my top couple of engine swap builds, and it's really great for making money. So between this and a few others, it's kind of my regular rotation. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoy that one. And if you do, please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments that you might have, or if you guys have got any requests or anything like that, just let me know. And until next time, take care, guys. Bye.
When you're running with the pack,